Y'all, Young Thug done got off. Let's talk about it. Y'all, Young Thug done got off his November 1st, 2:20 in the morning, y'all. I hope everyone had a happy Halloween. I want to say happy birthday to my nephew. He turned 2 years old yesterday. Y'all, we need to give him a hand. Go, Juju. We got to get into this thing about Young Thug, y'all. This man done got probation. Welcome to GSKP, Georgia Sunflower, Kansas Peach. It's been a minute, y'all. I'm glad to see you. How we doing? How we doing? All my peach trees and sunflower seeds. I know it's been a while since I've been on. Gotta say, there's been a lot going on in my life, so you have to take care of that kind of stuff sometimes. Again, happy birthday, Juju. I'm so glad to be back. You know, it's been a lot going on, and at the same time, not. It seems to me it's always the same thing. So here's one of those things that has been repeated quite a bit, and it is the YSL trials. Y'all, this boy done, oh my Lord. Oh my goodness. It has been almost 2 years or 2 years since this trial has started. And this man had been charged with racketeering, murder, gang affiliation, violence. I don't know. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Just charge after charge after charge. But as of late, Mr. Jeffrey has gotten off pretty much. He will do no time behind bars. It doesn't seem or look like. Look like he got probation for the rest of his life, though. He got 30 or 40 years probation, 20, 30 years probation. Some of his so-called cohorts did plea deals and they're doing time. But Mr. YSL, Mr. Jeffrey, has got 9,000 years of probation. He has been asked to leave the Atlanta metro area, and he is not to come back only to report or for certain family functions. Part of his probation is, I tell you what, let's see if we can just listen to what it is.
Lost on the court that the 17-10-1 subsection 2, A2A, and Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here. Stipulate. Also backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served. You are to remain on reporting status for the first half of your probation, active reporting for the first 7.5 years of your probation, and that is pursuant to OCGA 17-10-1 subsection 2, A2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here? Stipulate. All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation. What good cause? What do you mean? Can I have a second, Your Honor? Sure. Thank you, Your Honor. All right. You had enough time to talk with your attorneys? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, special conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change, but you can look that up anytime to figure out what that is. For the first 10 years of your probation, subject to the following exceptions, you are permitted to be in the metro Atlanta area to attend any wedding, funeral, or graduation from high school, college, or graduate school of any of your immediate family members. And immediate family members is defined the same way that you all were contemplating it when you were negotiating. You can get here up to 24 hours prior to any such event, and you need to leave within 48 hours after any such event. In addition, during each year of your probation, I'm going to require that you come to the metro Atlanta area and make a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year, each year of your probation, at a grade school, a middle school, a boys or girls club, anything like that, that type of group. And if you want to, that presentation can include a benefit concert, and these presentations may count towards your required community service hours, which I'm going to impose. That during each year of your probation, you perform 100 hours of community service. You are, and this is required by the fact that there's a gang conviction. You shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of any criminal street gang. Exception to that, if your brother is a member of any street gang, I hope you talk him into getting out of it. Quantavious Greer, and then also Sergio Kitchens, as long as you are contractually obligated to him. That is going to include anybody who is named in this indictment, except as absolutely necessary to conduct the lawful business of your musical career, and to any extent that the state is not agreeing to the exception for Mr. Kitchens. In the event that that part is not enforceable because it is only a portion of a special condition going to provide that be severable from the rest of this, and I'll put some case sites in the Senate sheet for that. You are in no way to promote any criminal street gang or any criminal street gang activity, including on any social media platform. You are not to utilize any hand signs, terminology, or language that promotes any criminal street gang. You are not to participate in any criminal street gang activity. You are not to knowingly engage in any contact with any of the victims that are listed in this indictment or with any of their family members. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm because you're going to be a convicted felon. And that is, except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be within arm's reach of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with. You are to submit to random drug screens and not use any drugs unless they are prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You are to execute a Fourth Amendment waiver that will permit the search of your person, residence, vehicles, and electronics for any firearms, any criminal street gang paraphernalia, or any illicit drugs. And as I mentioned, with regard to one of the first of your co-defendants from this trial, at least since I've been involved, to plead guilty, our Uniform Superior Court rules instruct and provide that it is absolutely proper for a judge to grant leniency in sentencing when, quote, the interests of the public and the effective administration of criminal justice are served, unquote. And I think that this plea is in the interest of the public and in the interest of effective administration of justice. Have been trying to ensure that, to the extent I can, this trial also abides by that. It's been challenging at certain times. I find your plea to be freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered with an understanding of consequences, and I accept it as such. I also need to inform you that your attorneys were going to represent you through either the last day of this term of court or 30 days from now, which
sounds to me like Mr. Williams, Jeffrey Williams, will be living in a rather fragile place because the stipulations of his probation says he can't say nothing gang, he can't do nothing gang, he can't do no gang signing, he can't. Now what is going to happen, this is strictly my opinion, they are going to misconstrue this man's hands and he is going to prison. They are going to try and revoke his probation. Because how is it? Just simple gestures can be made to look as if he's throwing up signs. Every picture is going to be analyzed. Every word. He can't speak any gang language. None of that. Which I find, I mean, it is possible, but in this day and age, any word can be considered gang language because these kids take the simple word it and turn it into something. So this man is going to be walking on the thinnest of glass for the next 15, 20 years? And I thought, and let me know in the comments, somebody comments, I didn't think that you could, I thought it was against the law to tell someone that they had to leave a certain area. I thought that had been canceled way long, because they used to do that to the cowboys, run them out of town. Don't you come back here, partner, you hear? But it's obvious from this boy, the conditions of his probation, that they can still run you out of town. I did not know that. I thought that had been eradicated quite some time ago, that they could not legally run you out of town. But obviously, they can and they will. And I can understand that when you're a menace to society. But the thing is, you'll just go somewhere else and be a menace. Now, here's my question. What kind of music is he going to make? He can't talk street. He can't talk trash. He can't talk low lifeliness. He can't talk drugs. He can't talk, pardon my mouth, hookers and hoes and pimps and dros and drugs and what? Not that he made music in the first place, because I am not a fan of YSL's music or none of that. Or what is it he's going to do now that's going to be interesting? Because these kids don't want to hear nothing with no sense. This is what they want to hear. I'm popping beans and mollies and perks and drinking cough syrup and falling out and fighting and cussing and doing any old vile sexual act. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear, clean up your act and do what's right. They want to hear, I got pistols and I'll blow your face off and all that old stupid. What is it that YSL he's going to rap about? Again, these kids don't want to hear that. Unless you're talking filthy trash and horrible, these kids do not want to hear it. Do not. So she has basically, and maybe not, I hope this young African American man turns his life around and makes something great out of this situation. That would be absolutely awesome. That would be absolutely awesome if he does that. Because I'm not going to say he's not capable of doing it, because he is. Because he pulled himself up out of the streets and gutters, using the streets and gutter. But maybe we're going to hope that from this experience, he pulls himself up from this one as well. I hope and pray that this young man turns this into a positive. I really do. It would be awesome to see. Awesome to see. And I hope that he accomplishes that. I'm so tired of seeing our young black men, just black men, period, in and out of the system. I'm tired of seeing them do the dope boy. Oh, they can't nobody make it without the dope, and everybody's this project and this on the streets. And I've known people that lived in the projects, didn't participate in none of that kind of crap. None of it. They didn't say it was easy. But they didn't. And for the life of me, I just don't understand that mentality. How are you arguing and fussing and killing and fighting one another over land that doesn't belong to you? Turf. It doesn't belong to you. That belongs to somebody else. And after you done all this shooting and killing and fighting and all that, it still belongs to them. It doesn't change anything. The way you change it is you get out here and you work hard and then you buy your own dirt. That's how it goes. Not you claiming somebody else's. That doesn't make sense to me. And I don't want to hear about being poor, and I don't all that being tired, and we all poor. That's an excuse for you to conduct yourself the way that you do. You do not have to be trash just because you are poor. That is an excuse. I would think because you don't have, you be more appreciative of what you have rather than destroying what you don't have. Because the land is not yours. That other person's life that you took was not yours. The lives around you that you ruined because of the act was not yours. Only thing that belongs to you is the responsibility and the accountability for your actions. So again, I hope this young man totally turns his life around and he's able to live up to the stipulations of his probation, and he sees that there is a better way and do better. Because, young man, you've been blessed. They were trying to give you 40 years in prison. $40, that's a long time. $40. I'll probably be gone in 40 years. That's a long time. you'd be 60, 70 years old, 65, 75 years old. I'll be gone. So, Jeffrey Williams, I hope you live up to the stipulations. I hope you do well. I really do. And I hope that this is an example for other young people, just like the judge says. To do great with your life. Do better. Do better. So, I want to say congratulations to Mr. Jeffrey Williams and YSL. And again, hope you do good. I want to thank you guys for joining me here on GSKP Georgia Sunflower Kansas Peach. I hope you all had a great Halloween. I want to say happy birthday to my nephew Juju once again. Yay, Juju! Happy birthday! Yay! And as I always say, you guys say your prayers, wear your masks. COVID is still out there creeping around. Peace. I love you. I am my brother's keeper. Thank you for joining me, all my peach trees and apple seeds. Bye.